The Marvel Cinematic Universe has a lot of issues, one of which being the lack of comic book accuracy, with the characters and IPs they chose to use. With no Fantastic Four, no X-Men, and a poor attempt at Spider-Man, they were really doomed from the start. Pun absolutely intended. Now, don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of gems in the MCU, but a lot of the heroes are dulled down to just be Avengers with a new coat of paint. So in this project, we'll be going through film by film and adding more films to add more comic book accuracy to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we want to welcome you to phase 1 of fixing the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the early 2000s, Jon Favreau directed a movie like no other. It was groundbreaking and it has stood the test of time for many years. I'm of course talking about Zathura, the classic Jon Favreau movie where Kristen Stewart turns into a mannequin. We don't know. I'm of course talking about 2008's Iron Man. When talking about how good this movie is, you could talk about the casting, talk about the directing, talk about the art style. This movie is perfect. I think it's the closest the comic book subgenre has came to perfect since Superman 1978. But in our universe, we only make some changes. First off, this silver suit right here, the Mark II. In the comics, Iron Man suit evolution goes from the bunker suit to this gold suit to the classic red and yellow. It's going to be this clean gold version of the suit. And the other change we're making is going to be the after credit scene. There is a cut after credit scene where they mention Spider-Man and the X-Men. Spider-Man ain't showing up for a while, but mutants, they're on the rise. And so in our universe, the deal with mutant, they're known of, they're sparse. And so in this, Nick Fury is going to say gamma accidents, shrinking hippies, and more mutants than you can count. And we will be changing one casting. Terrence Howard, if you didn't know, this guy is batshit insane and tried to make his own kind of math. If you haven't seen the most critical video about him, here's a little clip of how crazy this guy is.
There was an inconsistency with the math there. And so I went out to explore a new way of understanding how the universe works, and I was able to define the grand unified field equation they've been looking for and put it into geometry. And then with that geometry, I was able to put props on that. And what I'm saying is now we have invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda to replace the drones, to replace the helicopters, to replace the planes. We have all the funding necessary. What we need is just a fertile ground in which to build this. Now, this is the geometry of hydrogen.
But we're gonna replace him with Don Cheadle on the next film.
Play that sad walking away song from The Incredible Hulk. Hey, everyone, look at me. Look at me.
At the same time as Iron Man, another film was being made simultaneously, and that film is The Incredible Hulk. There's a lot you could say about this film. You could talk about action, the CGI, or how it's really a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, which is one of the most bizarre superhero movies of all time. But the most you can say about this movie is that it truly is one big missed opportunity. If you look at the deleted scenes, which there are a lot, you can see how good this movie could have been. It could have been a dark, emotional, and a serious take on the Hulk. So in our universe, the first change change we're gonna make is we're gonna make it an origin by extending the intro into the first and second acts. The second change we will be making is that at first the Hulk will be gray and then fade into the green as the movie goes on, turning into more of that famous green rage monster. And to explain more of the plot and origin, we're gonna hand it over to friendly old General Thunderbolt Ross.
You're aware that we've got an infantry weapons development program. Well, in WW2, they initiated a sub-program for biotech force enhancement.
Yeah, super soldier.
Yes. An oversimplification, but yes. And I dusted it off. Got them doing serious work again, bold work. We were trying to make you better. Banner's work was very early phase. It wasn't even weapons application. He thought they could strengthen cellular resistance to radiation. We thought it could give our boys built-in insulation against some of that depleted uranium no one likes talking about. So our money was running out. Banner was so sure of what he was onto that he tested it on himself. I let him. It was supposed to be very low exposure. And something went very wrong. Or it went very right. I still don't know. Because he is the data. He skipped before I could get him on a table and get it out of him. As far as I'm concerned, that man's whole body is property of the U.S. Army.
The one detail I'm going to add is that the people that will be working on the resistance to radiation, which is secretly the Super Soldier program, will be Bruce Banner, Betty Ross, and Samuel Stearns. Bruce was not the only one affected. When he got big, it exploded, leading stuff to leak onto Samuel Stearns' head, making the leader. Later on in Act 3, General Ross goes to the leader, asking him to make Emil Blonsky into the Abomination. Just giving a bit more detail on the story so y'all aren't confused. That's the end of the movie. On to the next one. Hey guys, if you thought that video was a bit too short and that we were going to go through the entire MCU, this is just part 1 in a multi-part series. This is part 1 of phase 1. We thank you for watching this video a lot. It's been a lot of hard work. This project has taken over a year to do. Part 2 will be Iron Man 2 and something a little fantastic. Play the music.